And it's been a very interesting journey, but very much spirit-led from the get-go, particularly in the last 4 years. I first found myself dipping my toe into sacred women's work, which was in the form of womb massage. And it was like finally something that harnessed all of the tools I'd collected over, 15, 16 years of energy work and adding this thing and that thing and so on and so forth. And I was like, fuck, this is who I am. And it was this deep remembering. And then it seemed like the natural progression then to go from womb into yoni work, right? Because it's like, where do we go from here? And I started putting the intention out. And then I found that people were coming to me feeling like that's what I was already doing, or somebody had told them that that's what I was already doing. And I was like, okay, cool. Obviously, this is the side step. This is the up level into the sacred women's work. And so I was like, cool, I need to find somebody who, has the same morals and values that I do, is fully transparent and authentic in what she offers and why, without the spiritual wanker club attached to it, essentially. And within 1 week of that, you appeared in my... And I was like, And I think at that time you'd announced the Yoni Massage course, and it was beginning in like 2 weeks' time. And I was like,
yeah, wow.
Oh, okay. You're not joking, are you? Like, are we doing this or are we not doing this? And so completely just followed that spirit-led process. And thank fuck I did, because holy shit, Amy, like,
yeah,
this is big stuff. Big stuff.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. And again, spending time and connecting with the beautiful women who've all been through this first training with you, and then being on retreat with them and with you. Again, that deep remembering that this is the fucking missing link. This is what we've always done as women to, be initiated into our power and reclaim our voices and our truth and our pleasure. And like this, and noise, because there's not even any words that come close.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's such an important point, because that sums up everything about what this work is, right? Like, there's Yoni Massage, like there's really no words. It's such an incredible energetic experience. It's really hard to describe, and it's different for every woman. And the same as the journey of becoming a practitioner, like, fuck, how do you sum that up? How do you describe that journey? Because it is totally transformational and different for each woman who's done it, because of course each woman brings her own stuff, and she's at a different place, and it's such an incredible experience. So tell us a little bit about the retreat for you, how it was for you. Like, what was it like preparing? Because obviously you're a mum, you've got kids, so life has to be organized to be packed away, to run away to another fucking world for a week. So what was the retreat like for you?
I was like, training in Bali, fucking sweet. Like, what?
I'm there.
What else can I do while I'm there? No, I mean, I had to pull a lot of strings and beg for the help that the person that, the strong independent woman that doesn't ask for help and has everything in order. And I had to do that, which in itself was part of the growth process, right? Had never been to Bali before. And I'm terrified of flying and public speaking. And funnily enough, found myself in the last few years doing just that, fucking traveling all over the place and having to talk in front of people. So
up leveling, baby.
Yeah.
Up leveling.
So, once I found the beautiful driver at the airport, he was holding a sign that said Yoni Queen. And I was like, oh my God, this is it. I'm home. It was so good. I love that. It anxiety was definitely peaking. Not so much about the work, but just I feel awkward when sitting in groups, and also having to sit in a space where I'm in the space and not holding the space. Is a huge thing, and you know, being vulnerable enough to do that and keeping that switched off.
Absolutely.
But again, it was the space that you created, Amy, was so safe and so beautiful. You know, emotional talking, but you know, and
don't cry because you'll make me fucking cry. I've already cried twice today.
Like, no accidents, right? The alchemy between the women in the group, and the synchronicities and the differences in our stories that pulled us closer together. Like, fuck.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to acknowledge that, because, and thank you. Like, I recognize that is such a privilege for me that you allowed me to hold that space for you, because you are your own facilitator, you are a teacher, you are this incredible woman. You've got, you've established the fucking Her Center, you teach Reiki, you teach courses, you're established in what you do, and then to step into a space where you allowed me to guide you was an incredible privilege. And it was such a privilege to watch you journey through that week and to see your process with it all, because often when we know stuff, it's really fucking hard to empty the cup and to come into that space and go, okay, this is what I'm here for, forget the other stuff and just see where this is going to take me. And you did that in such an incredibly powerful way. So tell us, what was it like experiencing 4 Yoni massages in like such a compressed time, and what sort of experiences did you have in those sessions?
I think absolutely necessary in terms of training to get a feel for just how different your body feels from day to day, just how different the alchemy is between different women at the time, and that you are going to receive whatever is needed in that very moment. And that, you know, the days where I received Yoni massage in the morning, you know, if that had been switched to the afternoon, it would have been, even with the same practitioner, it would have been a completely different experience. And that the, what's the word I'm looking for, that timing and moment is always perfect. Each one was so different. I loved going through the process as a woman receiving, and then also as a woman giving, and how I fell in love with my body more and more each day through the process, and still am. Like, I'm just like, oh my God, it's so good. Like, what a gift to give yourself, and what a gift to be able to, you know, facilitate that for other women as well. And how much I fell in love with other women's bodies and their strength and their endurance, because fuck, you know, doing 4 Yoni massages in 4 days was, you know, decent on the knees and the thighs. Like, we were dancing over each other's bodies in the most beautiful way, and it required so much focus and so much of, you know, all our physical, mental, emotional and spiritual bodies. And I remember one specifically. There was one day where I had a beautiful release from de-armoring, which was quite a pain. It was a painful spot. I think that might have been on the second one. And because I work with similar medicine, I'm like, cool, like, pain means this is fucking getting in there, we're releasing, bring it, and having that release. But then I remember then on the last day, there was a moment of de-armoring, and something in my consciousness went to react with a pain response. My body went to react with a pain response, and there's something in my consciousness that said, does this need to be painful, or can you just have the release? And my whole body fucking lit up with that new understanding of, it doesn't need to be pain. We can just release. And then it almost, you know, that fine line between, you know, pleasure and pain.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you know the words, like,
Yeah.
and I think that fucking went in on a really deep level for me. And just on the days where, you know, if I get up and my body is feeling painful, or, you know, if I'm experiencing a not good day, you know, and how that filters into everyday life. And I'm like, well, is it painful, or is it just telling you that, you know, you need to stretch, or you need to rest, or what is do you just need to go have a quick ugly cry in the shower and just move that through your body? And powerful stuff. It's like, it doesn't need to be pain in order to be released and to be felt.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's really important to point that out and to feel that, and as a practitioner to take that into your sessions. Women can have that release, they can have that healing, they can have that face off, if you like, with trauma through pleasure, through orgasm, through energetic release. It doesn't have to be in the hardcore de-armoring and the pain and let's go in there and feel all the ugliness and go into the shadow. No, it's, you know, and that's just buying into this belief that we have in society that we have to suffer in order to awaken. And I know that was a big thing that we looked at on the retreat, and that's a really good point. Like, one of the biggest releases I ever have had in this work was the first time that I squirted, and that was just like the most epic fucking emotional release, and there was no pain in that. Like, that was all pleasure, baby. And that was incredible. And same thing for me, it was such an awakening and like an eye-opening experience to remember that, to realize that. Yeah. So what's one of the, because this work is very vulnerable, and we know that for clients to come to you and to book in with you, they have to trust you and they have to know you. And so part of this interview is I want people to get to know you. So I want to get like real and honest and raw. So what is one of the things that has changed for you personally from this training, or from a yoni massage, or from anything that you've experienced in this training? What's something that has really impacted for you personally?
I know that this is going to sound really wishy-washy and shit, but let me go with it, because then we can find out. But everything. Like,
a little bit more specific.
So, yeah. So everything. Also, let's just fucking dig underneath that. Oh, fuck. Vulnerable leadership. For sure. I feel like I am able to embody my emotions so in a much safer way, or I feel safe enough to embody my emotions, maybe is the better way to do it. How I approach my women's circles and my clients is so much now about that self-love, and it was before, but it's like it's just on a fucking different level now, and the foundations of everything that I do are about fuck everything else. What is, you know, what is going on here, and how can I hold you while you remember how to love yourself? Whether that's Yoni massage or whether it's sitting in meditation, it doesn't matter. I want to make sure that women feel safe enough or feel held enough so that they can begin to unravel those layers in whatever way they're drawn to do that, so that they remember how to fucking love themselves. Because once they fully accept and love themselves, they're unstoppable. Like us.
Absolutely. Totally. Exactly like that. So how has this, learning this new skill, this modality, impacted your personal intimate relationship?
My personal intimate relationship is pretty good.
Awesome.
I feel like it takes less time for me to get into that space of total surrender and just in fucking bliss mode, traveling through the dimensions and sucking it up. I feel like I'm enjoying really being seen more, rather than feeling like in order to feel safe enough to be seen, I had to look a certain way or have the right lingerie or something like that. I'm just like, you keep your eyes open, get the lights on, because you don't want to miss this. And I'm just letting it happen, and it feels the wild woman has been activated, and it's so fucking hot.
Yeah. Yeah, baby.
because I decided that it is, like, for no other reason than I decided this is sexy as fuck and you need to witness it.
Exactly.
And that's like, that's huge too. It's like, oh, I thought that I was only sexy because he thought I was, or because he said I was, or because he likes this, or he's like, oh, no. I fucking decide, and then let that fucking filter through the universe.
Yeah.
So definitely, I get maybe a little bit more confidence, maybe, but definitely just deciding that I'm sexy. Done.
Yeah.
But like, this is the thing. It's like, it's not fucking, brain surgery. It's simple. It's simple tools or simple recalibrations or unlearnings to just go, well, it is whatever you decide. It's not pain, it's pleasure. It's, it's not shameful, it's hot. Like, the end. You decide.
Yeah, totally. Exactly. And that's, everything's a choice. Everything's a choice, and we can choose to step into our power or not. We can choose to tell our partner how to fuck us or not. We can choose to give feedback and create the pleasure that we desire or not. We can sit miserably and say, well, that was a shit shag. And it's all self-responsibility, and that's huge. And I think as a practitioner, you have to walk your talk in that way. You have to own your self-responsibility, and you have to represent the work that you're doing. And that's a big part of what this training is, right? It's, that's why it's 6 months. It's not just a fucking walk in the park, do a course, you're done. As you said, it impacts everything. It touches every aspect of your life. Like, this has up-leveled your existing business. This has up-leveled, your relationship with your body, yourself, your pleasure, everything. And that can't help but flow on to impact your clients and those women who step into your space. Like, it does. And that's the magic of it. That's where the power really happens. So womb massage is something you've been doing for a while. And I know this is something that you're going to have to talk about forever and a day. So tell us, what is the difference between a womb massage and a yoni massage?
I'm so glad you asked. So, and it's actually really interesting, because my understanding of the two of them together continues to evolve as well. And because people are like, I'm drawn to both, which one should I do first? Or, those sorts of things. And so what I'm finding is that the womb massage is a great place to start, because it's a lot of deep tissue work. It's really cracking into the cellular memory, into the ancestry, through the mother line, into past life stuff, and pulling shit out at the roots, essentially, making space. So that uses a lot of pressure points. It uses some sort of gentle massage, a lot of fucking energy work, herbs, and a nice big stick that I like to poke in your ass to get a relief. Not in your ass, not up your bum, but just in your... Can we edit that bit, Amy? No, we're live. Well done, Laura.
Amazing visuals going on right now.
Let's clarify that womb massage does not involve any internal work, and you can remain pretty much fully clothed, although it does make my job easier if you just strip down. Anyway, so really singing into the bones, cracking through that cellular memory, and just ripping old shit out and creating space. And then I found bringing Yoni massage into that afterwards. So with my case studies, the ones who had the womb massage felt like that was so like a really important clearing out, if you like, to then bring the Yoni massage in.
Yeah, cool.
Which then helps to initiate them back into their power, filling up that space with love, with pleasure, with whatever the fuck they want to bring into the space. The womb work is like a 2-hour session. It's, mostly, full on electric hands, energy work, crazy. Then the Yoni massage is a lot more sort of slow and sensual, and really just learning how to, put that love back in. Letting, peeling back any layers that are still there, old stories that are still holding you back, but in a much more nurturing and gentle space, because you are so fucking vulnerable.
Oh
Yeah.
The Yoni massage is more like it's like a sensory experience. It's like switching back on how to receive, how to feel pleasure, what pleasure is. It's kind of like reteaching us, of course, because we have no fucking sex education. We have no way of teaching ourselves as women or our children what is pleasure, what is sex. Like, we don't talk about that openly in schools, families, anything. So it's an opportunity for women to re-educate themselves in their bodies. What the fuck is pleasure? What should it feel like? Oxytocin. This. So yeah, I love that the difference. Sorry, I think my internet did its thing. But it's that, what is the difference? That Yoni massage is that really slowing down and to allow that full sensory experience, which is just beautiful and delicious. And yeah, so I love that. So you're going to continue to offer both modalities?
100%. They are, I haven't decided, but I felt on Sunday at a soul song therapy circle session, fucking amazing, that this work that really is the work that I've always done, I feel like, for lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes. This work isn't what I'm doing, but it is who I am. And I felt that in such a huge way on Sunday night. And so I'm going to go with that. This is who I am. And so they both do complement each other so beautifully. They tapping into a very similar energy, although they're quite, the processes are quite different. The intention is 100% the same.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that about you. I have seen that in you for the past 6 months, that this is who you are. This isn't your work. Yeah, this is who you are. And seeing you step into that space and seeing you step into the retreat and be the practitioner, that's exactly, it's like, this work isn't about learning a new skill, it's remembering. It's just literally lighting up those neural pathways to remember something that you have done for fucking eons. Yeah. And it's just, and that's what happens. You step back into what you destined to do, and it's just like boom, 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 boom. It falls into place, and it's fucking magic when it happens.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So tell us then, what can a woman expect when she comes to have a session with you? Like, what's your approach? What's your philosophy, if you like? Like, what is your approach for Yoni massage, and why would a woman want to have one with you?
Okay, so often we will have, well, not often, we will have a chat, whether it's, over the phone or sometimes it's email, why is this best for you? Or I'm drawn to the womb and the yoni work, what should I do and why? So it's so much easier to just say, where are you at? What is your intention? What are your hopes and your expectations? Let's have a chat. And then from there, you'll go, oh my God, I need this in my life, and book in your session. So all of the sessions are done from her center, because the intention that has been woven into the walls of that space is nothing short of pure magic. The building itself was a birth center for many years, so it already holds that beautiful earthy women's vibe. I also have a feeling, which is going to be very, very difficult to confirm, but that space was actually a sacred women's space used by Indigenous people. And there is an elder who in spirit who walks and guards the song line that goes through the center. And so she's fully on board, and the stuff that she's sharing is amazing. So that space is absolutely magnificent for anything to do with sacred women's work. So coming into the space, and then I will invite you to talk about your fears, your expectations, your hopes, your why. And then we will talk about exactly what's going to happen in the session from beginning to end. So there's no surprises. And obviously, this is your experience. So at any point, you are encouraged to use your voice, honor your yes, but more importantly, honoring your no. Sometimes, I know that this is something that you said, Amy, sometimes women just need to feel safe enough to feel like their no can be heard. And what a fucking powerful thing that is to be able to do, and then to be witnessed and fucking heard and respected. And we talk about full body consent as well. So, and that continues throughout the process. Obviously, there's layers of vulnerability through the session, and there's always communication, and I want your input. What feels great? What doesn't feel great? Especially in moments of de-armoring where we're looking at knots and things like that, trauma spots with the body. How deep do you want to go? Is there more there? Do we need to release? I want you to know that I'm here to guide you as deeply as you are willing to go. And then we'll finish up usually with a really beautiful cuddle and chat, and a bit like sleepovers when you were teenagers, just laying down and just going, what the fuck just happened? I don't know. Why was that not weird? Why does that feel like everyone can do this and such a normal experience? And I can't believe how much that was nothing like sex, even though it was a sexual experience. And that in itself, working with that energy, it's like it's not sex. Sex is not something that's separate from you. It is your innocence. That is your very nature. That sexual energy is what fucking makes the world turn. And so it's coming back into the understanding that is everything that you are, and it's actually so beautiful and innocent. And how we've kind of flipped that shit on its head and made it something that's not okay. And talking through anything that's come up for you, working through any processes, helping you with any bits and pieces that were stuck along the way. Have a little snack, because you're going to feel like you've been, traveling through all the dimensions. You're going to feel a bit hungry. Make sure that you're grounded. And then I will be sending a link within 48 hours for you to book in a follow-up session, which can be done either over FaceTime or face-to-face, whatever works best. I know that I do see people from, all over Perth, so sometimes that's not always the easy option to be face-to-face, but certainly we can FaceTime, just because, the physical, like a couple of days of, feeling in and out of your body, it's going to take those few days to ground. The emotional ups and downs, when it hits, day 10, when all of a sudden you're a fucking crazy person and you're just like, I don't know why I'm crying. That's when we're going to have the follow-up session. This is okay to release. Let's not go looking to reattach to the story.
Yeah.
Allow it to just go and know that you are fucking safe and I've got you.
Totally. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's one of the really important points of difference about this training, is that, that's a part of the session. Like, that's included, is a debrief. It's that holding container continues when you walk out that door. And that's so important, because this work is so vulnerable. It is so powerful. And it's really important for women to know that they're going to be held beyond that space of just the massage. So yeah, that's such a fucking important point. point. Yeah, just on the Facebook Live, there's lots of love hearts and lots of birthday wishes for you, gorgeous woman. So one of the questions that a lot of women are asking, and that they're faced with either as a client going to have a yoni massage, or as a woman considering becoming a practitioner, their husband, their partner, their male partner, because to this date, I haven't had this be an issue with female partners. It only seems to be an issue with male partners. So how was that process for you in telling your partner, hey, this is what I'm going to be doing now? And what was that like for you as a partnership navigating that choice?
I'm so fucking honored and totally deserving also of the beautiful man that the beautiful man that is in my life. And he's always been very supportive in the work that I do. So and you know, with the womb work and things like that. And he always says, I don't fucking get it. I don't really want to. He goes, I know that you make people cry and then they feel good and like you help them be happy.
That's it. That's all I do. Yep. Spot on. Perfect.
So if you're changing people's lives and they're happy, then it must be a good thing, right? And so it's like, and that's enough. That's not his job to understand what I'm doing. He loves to surf. I fucking don't know the first thing about surfing and waves and shit. It terrifies me, right? Just like I terrify him. So his response is always, you know, is that what you want to do? Do you feel like it's going to help people? Then fucking do it. And that was very much what happened stepping into this work. Yeah. With no fear, like from him whatsoever. Even, you know, talking about retreat when we were having to, you know, give and receive for, and he was just like, you could see his mind going, but I think he thought more than it. I think he enjoyed that in his own head more than the fear that it brought up. For anybody who is navigating that at the moment, if you're considering yoni massage for yourself, or if you're considering doing Amy's training, which you 150,000 should.
Totally.
You know, I guess a lot of, you know, it's just, you're going into a space where all of a sudden he's going to feel like he doesn't have any control. This is a very new territory. He can't be a part of it because he doesn't have a yoni. So it's a very terrifying experience for him, and there's going to be lots of fears that come up, right? So just fucking sit with that. So I understand that this might be a little bit strange, or I don't know, whatever. But this is going to be amazing for our sex life and for all the other women out there. And I think, you know, explain that he doesn't have to understand the how and the why, just that he needs to trust in the process and that he is safe and that you're a fucking queen.
Hell yeah.
And you're being called to this work with every cell of your being, and you can't possibly resist it any longer. And he will support you because he'll see how you fucking step into yourself, and it's
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better. So one last thing that I want to ask you before we finish up is what's your biggest impact moment from the last 6 months, from everything, whether it be the training, the retreat, case studies? What's one moment that just stands out to you that's just like, oh, that was amazing, or fuck, that was scary, or whatever it might be?
Fuck's sake, Amy. I can't pick one, and I'm trying to think, and I just feel emotional. I can't pick one moment in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
This maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know that that's a bullshit answer, but
Well, no, it says a lot. It says a lot. Yeah. Yeah.
like, fuck.
And you can all see why Laura is my ideal student, right? She speaks my language.
What? Fuck.
Absolutely. And that's, you know, I think that's such a really beautiful thing that you represent, is that freedom in your expression, freedom in who you are and how you show up. And this is me. And if that makes you uncomfortable, that's your concern, not mine. And that's so important, because in this work, you have to lead by example. You have to be seen. People are watching you. Your clients are looking at you going, do I want to work with her? Is she the right vibe for me? Is she the right medicine for me? And, you know, there's different practitioners for different women. So I know, you know, there's 6 of you doing this training, and all of you are going to have your ideal clientele and the women that you are fucking perfect for. And that's, you know, that's why I want this to spread far and wide, because this needs to be accessible to every single woman. Every single person with a vagina needs to be able to have access to this kind of modality to really make the impact and the change in their life that they're seeking. So thank you, gorgeous woman, for saying yes to the work, for saying yes to yourself and doing this and offering this to women. So tell us again just where you are, how people can find you, and when you're available, because I know you graduate at the end of the month, but I know your March is like pretty booked up already, yeah?
Yeah.
Just fucking
The women want the work. What can I say?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And just touching on what you said before, like 100%, I'm so okay with the fact that it's not my job for you to, it's my job for you to feel safe, but it's not my job to make you comfortable. It's my job to love you until you remember how to love yourself.
Yes. It's my job to make you uncomfortable.
Absolutely. It's like when people come in and they're all like, I'm like, how are you feeling? Like, yeah, fine. As opposed to, oh, I'm a little bit nervous. I'm like, I want the nerves, because that means we're going straight into growth zone.
Yeah.
Come into my space and you're all like, yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Shit's going to go down.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Totally.
You are safe. So I'm in the Perth Hills at her centre. February is pretty much booked out. March is, there's still a few, but on my on my website, on my Facebook page, there's my link to the online calendar, where it's so fucking easy. You can see exactly what's available and when. Please get in touch with me with, you know, by DM or email if you have any questions. As you can see, there is nothing that you cannot ask me. No judgment. So yeah.
Absolutely. So what you're gonna put all the links to where people can book you and find you and everything in the comments of this video, so that people can jump on and find you. But just tell us now, what's your like your Facebook and your Instagram handles?
Facebook is Laura Elizabeth Wellness, and Instagram is Laura Elizabeth Self Healing Coach. No, they are not congruent. Facebook is a piece of shit. It might change again just to keep you all on your toes.
Yeah.
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 Find me.
Beautiful. Good. All right. Well, thank you, gorgeous woman, for your time, and to all the beautiful people who have been watching. If you have questions for Laura, feel free to contact her directly. You can book in with her if you're in Western Australia, Perth area. I highly recommend her.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. We are no longer live.